So, we've just finished the Ruin Route. Can you believe that? We are literally almost at the 100% mark. So let's go to options. I've already loaded my stats, and as you can see, it's 32 out of 32 ATACs completed, 55 out of 56 missions. The last mission is the bad ending for the Kingdom Route, which is what this stream is all about. We are going straight for the bad ending and going to see, well, what happens to Eptina. Eptina, I think that's how you pronounce the content's name. And yeah, and by the time we're done, we'll end up having Blooper 9, which is the most idiotic opening you'll ever see. And if you were here for Bloopers 8 in the last stream, then just expect it to be wackier. So let's exit this, and we need to start a new game. Now, before we start though, what I want to do is every character that appears, we are not going to swap out their ATAC. We're not going to change their ceiling stone. And basically, we're going to play as someone who's played this game for the first time. And we're going to go with it, right? So Barlow's going to start with his water sealing stone, Reyna's water sealing stone, Devlin fire sealing stone, etc, etc. And we're just going to go with that. So we are also going to make sure we end up getting Nana and Malia. As for Malia, it's going to be really difficult to get her while trying to get the bad ending. Mainly because make sure Bastion is under level 20 while trying to get the bad ending is difficult enough to do, because we're going to have to spread out the experience throughout the entire party. And yeah, it's going to be difficult. You'll see why in the final battle. If you don't already know about the bad ending, you'll see why in the final battle that isn't the most ideal thing to aim for. A well-balanced party is not what you want. So, we're good. Let's go start and begin the final Kingdom Route run and achieve our 100% completion. Come on, Father. Admit that all this training is a complete waste of time. We both know that I'm more than strong enough to fight the Empire. So why wouldn't you allow me to prove my strength in battle? I'm weary of skulking from place to place in the dead of night, as though we were petty thieves. We must stand up and fight, Father. We have to. Ow! What was that for? To demonstrate that much training yet lies before you. But you struck me when I wasn't ready, Father. That's hardly fair. On the field of battle, fair knows not who the deserving are, Bastion. It is a lesson you must learn. I still say that you cheated. Hey, you two. Didn't you see the smoke in the air? Bastion, Camorge. The village is under siege by soldiers of the Empire. I counted at least 4 Imperials before Puck and I came to find you. One building has already been set ablaze in the chaos. You must stop those thugs from doing any more harm. Don't fret, Malia. Of course we'll stop them. Are they ready, Puck? Ready and waiting, Bastion. Excellent. Let's go. Damn the Empire. Damn them for fighting us again. Father, I simply can't wait to slay these wretched dogs. Do not allow your anger to cloud good judgment. Forget your emotions. Remember your training. Fight with honor. I know, Father, I know. But now is the time for me to use that training for just such an honorable purpose. Stay close as we engage the enemy Bastion. Keep me within your line of sight at all times. This is your first big test. Do not disappoint me. Of course not, Father. I shall make you proud. Proud enough that perhaps you can reserve that stick for someone else. Stop terrorizing these innocent villagers, you filthy swine! Warriors of the Junaris Empire, stop for no one! Sir, these appear to be the rogues we were sent to find. Are you certain? I was expecting mercenaries, not peasants. You may injure them, but do not kill them, or Faulkner will have all our heads. Alright, so first things first, we're going to move Bastion up to this position here. This is actually the ideal spot to always put Bastion, and you'll get the most experience as well as the most kills putting him right there. We also have to make sure he's positioned to face, I believe, east. Yeah, make sure he's facing east, and we're going to end our turn. Now, typically, when you're being attacked, you don't really want to counterattack, but in this mission, as well as the rest of the early missions, you're going to want to counterattack, and not with counter, but with attack. So we're going to do this, thrust, there we go, and we'll watch the battle. There we go. And we get 100 experience from that. Now, if we keep thrusting at the enemies who attack us, we are going to level up pretty quickly, potentially maybe 1 or 2 levels. And don't worry about the FP being super high. Thankfully, our FP won't ever make us frozen. We won't ever get to that point by normal attacking with a counterattack during an enemy attack. That made sense. So Camorge is, of course, the biggest threat because his level is currently 10 and he has strong slash, which is a very powerful version of slash. You fight well for an old man, but I harbor no respect for my elders. So watch out for Camorge. He will steal kills and he will take everything you've got. So the one thing I need to make sure of is if I hit him with this, right? Camorge will be able to one-shot him from this point. So I hit for 14, I believe, the first time, so I dropped to 36, and Camorge would have hit it for 15. So we're gonna go with the fact that Camorge probably hit him Imperial 3 for 15 damage, and this would end up wiping him out. So we're just gonna use a normal slash. Maybe not. Let's go ahead and just attack Imperial 4. We'll turn battle animations off now. And go, end our turn, and we'll have recovered some FP to be able to do another counter thrust. It's just like the old saying, Reyna, where there's smoke, there's the Imperial Army. Look over there, father, 2 more Imperial ATCs. I would not be so quick as to assume they are affiliated with the Empire. Fear not, brave villagers, we shall save your humble homes from these heartless bastards. Who in the world are you, and what are you doing here? My name is Reyna, and I'm here to fight alongside you. I'll answer any other questions you have after I've slain these Imperial lackeys. Alright? You mean when my father and I have slain them? Alright, so Reyna and Ione, who just appeared, will also take kills from you, so we need to be extra careful not to let that happen. So constantly, whenever you're attacked constantly, just go ahead and just use a normal thrust. Don't worry too much about being frozen. Like I said, it won't happen. And we're going to leave this Imperial 3 alone. We're going to hit Imperial 4 again and end our turn. There we go. Okay, so now Imperial 4, who's being attacked by Camorge. We're at an issue here. Will he attack or will he run off? Okay, so if I hit him, we should not be able to kill him. Oh, we can. Okay, so wipe out Imperial 3. Hopefully he doesn't magically dodge. Excellent. Okay, there we go. Now, here is the first level up you're going to be dealing with. What you want is not to place it randomly. We're going to aim to get our skills, particularly our strong slash right now, because with it, we can do a lot more damage, as well as collect a lot more experience, because if you're regular viewers of the previous streams, you know that the more damage you do, the more experience you'll receive in return. So strong slash requires 8 base, 7 strength, and 6 dexterity. So we already have 7 base, so 8. And then we have 5, 7, there we go. Now we just need to level up one more time and give that stat point to Dex, and we'll end up having a strong slash. So from here, I am going to move Bastion right let's move him. Let's move him right here. This will make it so that they might target bastions from behind, and then it'll keep everybody else from attacking. Okay, and it's gonna attack Camors. There we go. Okay. Imperial Fort is now gone, so we lost that kill. Okay, Camors is frozen. Now, I'll be honest, I've never seen Camors ever frozen in this battle. This is the only time I've ever seen this happen. So, we've just witnessed a miracle. Let's go ahead and just use thrust and get this guy. Now, understand this, we're attacking from behind, so we're going to get less experience than if we just defeated Imperial 2 from the side. But, from behind, we can actually beat him. From the side, we're not going to be able to. Okay, 2043. Let's see if we can get that last Imperial over there. I don't think we can. Yeah, it doesn't appear that we will be able to. Okay, so we got 2 out of the 4 kills, which is an admirable. Victory is ours, Father! Those savages had no need to destroy this house. Hello, my name is Ione. I am a member of the Avalon Defense Corps. And I am Reyna. It's a pleasure to meet such skilled fighters. The Avalon Defense Corps? Aren't you allies of the Pharastia Kingdom? Yes, our combined forces have been battling the Empire for ages. It is my pleasure to meet such beautiful soldiers as you two. Pardon me? Reyna and I had been tracking these Imperials for several days. And when we saw a pillar of black smoke on the horizon, we knew that they were the cause of it. We are most grateful to both of you for your timely assistance. You're quite welcome, sir. I relish any opportunity to kick to Junar's empire where it hurts. I still can't believe they would attack a village of innocents. I have a question. Do either of you know a man by the name of Galvis Darid? Galvis? The corps commander of the Pharastia Kingdom? Yes. Of course we know him. We're here on his orders. He is considered a living legend by most members of the corps. I have nothing but respect for him. I'm curious, what leads you to inquire about Galvis? I must speak with him at the earliest possible opportunity of a debt which must be repaid. Galvis is quite wealthy, sir. How has he come to owe you anything? His debt is not monetary, Ione, and that is all you need to know. I would strongly disagree with you on that point. My apologies, sir. I did not seek to offend you. An old man like me is very rarely offended, Ione, but your apology is accepted, nonetheless. Thank you, sir. How much time will you and your friends need to prepare before we depart? Ione, we can't take this man to see Galvis. We don't even know him. We do not know him, Reyna, but we can certainly trust him. You only need to look into his eyes to realize that. Thank you for your trust, Ione. Now I owe a debt to you as well. Father, have you forgotten about the fate of this village? What will happen when the Empire sends more soldiers here? The village will be quite safe after we depart Bastion. And how can you be so confident of that, Father? Because you and I are the cause of this ruined Bastion. What? What do you mean, Father? I don't understand. Those soldiers said they were looking for rogues. And they found us, Bastion. They found me. What are you saying? Why is the Empire searching? Do you or do you not want to fight the Empire, Bastion? Of course I do, Father, but... Then cease your rambling and begin preparations for our journey. Father, wait! Why won't you at least explain what's going on? Father... Your Highness, the Imperial Princess. I am, as always, honored simply to be in your holy presence, Sadira. What business brings you to my chambers on this wondrous day? Dispense with your pretentiousness, Falker. I demand answers. Certainly, Highness, but first you must supply a question. Silence, Faulkner. The band of rogues you call soldiers are flagrantly violating the laws of the Empire. I'm told some of them have even deserted our armies and begun to rob the citizens they were sworn to protect. I will inform my sergeants of this terrible news at once, Sadira. Your sergeants? From what I have been told, they not only allow this behavior, but often condone it. That's why I must travel to the border zones as soon as possible. I plan to observe the despicable action of those troops myself, and to severely punish those among them who would harm my people. I only hope that you're able to guard the Imperial Palace while I'm gone. I should burn this palace to the ground, you spoiled little wench. But it would be more prudent to follow you to the border zones, just in case. The last word we received was that Galvus was stationed in Araba Castle. It's located near the border between the kingdom and the Empire. You'll be in danger. We can defend ourselves. Are you really certain about this, Ione? Because I'm not. Need I remind you once again that we know nothing about this man? I understand your concern, Reina, but we know we can trust him. I also know that he can hold his own on a battlefield. Most importantly, we know that his son is quite attractive. What was that? Nothing. I should also admit that I am very curious about Camorsh. As am I. What is this great debt Galvus owes him? And for how long have they known each other? Ah, well, that is gossip best kept for another time. The faster we make our way through the Empire, the sooner we will have the answers we want. Well, yes, but it's so much fun to gossip, Ione. Oh, perfect. Damn it. That last battle has played havoc with the controls of my ATAC. I apologize, Camorsh, but I can't continue on until I can determine which systems are inoperative. Perhaps we can assist you in that regard, Ione. Of course we can. Puck, have a look and see what you can do. You got it, Bastion. Are you kidding me? This vertically challenged tyke is a mechanic? The laws against child labor are quite strict, remember? Puck is not a boy, Reina. He's almost a man. Besides, he's the most amazing tech you'll ever meet. My ATAC would have fallen to pieces long ago without him. Says you. Jeez, Bastion. Why don't you lay it on a little thicker? Aw, Puck, I've not embellished your raw talents one bit, and you know it. Well then, Puck, I'll be honored if you chose to assist me. No problem. Let's go. You are a man of very few words, aren't you, Camorsh? Indeed. So tell me, Bastion, it seems that you move around quite a bit. Doesn't that get hard? Yes, it is difficult. I doubt there's a place on a continent where we haven't lived at some point. Well then, how did Melia come to be in your company? Both of my parents were slain by soldiers of the Empire when I was very young. Camorsh had been a good friend of my family and took me in as one of his own. Oh, Melia, I'm so sorry. I really didn't mean to cause you any pain. Don't be silly, Reina, and please don't apologize. After all, how could you have known? Besides, I couldn't have had a better life than the one Camorsh has given to me. Geez, that was too easy. All I had to do was patch the bipolar circuits and tweak the cortex modulator. Sounds like your little genius has finished his repair work. Thank you very much, Puck. I'll go and run a few diagnostic programs before we depart. Boy, he is good. The very best engineers in the Avalon Corps don't even work that fast. I said as much earlier, remember? Yes. Oh, I forgot to ask how Puck ended up with you as well. Puck was apprenticing with one of my father's friends, who is an engineer. He's traveling with us to test what he's learned thus far in real-life situations. And I assure you, there aren't many situations we haven't been in lately. It's okay, Bastion. I really don't mind fixing your ATAC all the time. I'm starting to get the picture. It's a perfect arrangement. Father and I battle against the Empire. Puck repairs our ATACs and allows me to pull wedgies on him when the mood strikes. And Malia cooks and cleans up after us. Like I said, it's perfect. No, no. It would be perfect if you managed to belch out a thank you now and then to show some appreciation. I appreciate what you do, Malia. You know that. Well, it wouldn't hurt to tell me every now and again. Sounds reasonable to me. Attention everyone. Camarge and I have seen a battle forming in the distance. There isn't any time to waste. We must mobilize at once. Excellent. We can strike against the Empire on their own wretched turf. We must keep our wits about us as we descend into this conflict. Yes, caution is the best course of action. It may already be too late for the Empire's poor prey. If we are careless, we shall become victims as well. Heads up, let's go. Alright, need a water break. Just give me one moment. Alright, so here we go. Now, like I said, for every character we get, we are sticking with their default ATACs as well as their default ceiling stones. So Bastion is going to stick with Alba until we end up getting Ultra Gunner. Camorse is going to leave same as Ione. Reyna is going to stick with Harol. I don't like leaving her with Harol because she deserves better. And Harol is an extremely weak ATAC. Even if it has a spear and can hit 2 spaces away, it is still extremely weak. But regardless, we're sticking with her. And we're going to keep the water ceiling stone. And Bastion is going to keep Barrel. Usually I would switch with fire for like the massive attack gains, but we're doing this default. Now let's go ahead and save the game. Okay, let's go with this one. Oh man, I don't like overwriting like end game saves. It's very, I don't know the word for it, but I just don't like it. I like to keep my completed saves. All right, let's do interview. Oh wait, no. So if you've never played this game, here's the thing you need to remember. In the Kingdom route, which is what we're on right now, morale is extremely important. It is the most important mechanic you must master in the Kingdom route because it determines whether you get the good or bad ending. High morale across the entire party that you'll get will allow you to get the best ending, the good ending. Good ending is the word. Whereas the opposite, getting a bad morale average across the entire party will net you the bad ending. So it's not hard to end up in a bad ending just by playing normally. So morale is extremely important. So interview will increase morale of your party members, so we're going to avoid doing an interview for this route. Now let's do briefing. We're going to make sure we do briefing. It appears we're too late. No, I detect 2 ATACs in the center of the canyon. If we hurry, we can save them. But they're surrounded by a mob of Imperials. What do you think, Ione? Well, inside such a narrow space, we can easily cover each other's backs. But if that mob surrounds us as well, our only escape road will be cut off. Stay close and move quickly, or we'll watch these people die by the Empire's hands. That's not going to happen, Ione. Time for you to watch and learn from the best of the Avalon Court's Bastion. Hey, I'm not a student, Reyna. I'm a teacher. Alright, let's watch a teacher in action. Alright boys, I'm getting bored. It's time to bash these fools into scrap metal. And watch how hard you hit them. Nobody's gonna buy any ATAC parts from us if they don't work. I don't care if you kill me, but have mercy. Allow my friend to leave. He doesn't deserve this fate. The enemy is too numerous, Bastion. You must leave here until the battle's over. What are you saying, Father? I'm going to stand and fight with you, not run away. If we don't help these people, they'll die before our eyes, and I couldn't live with myself if that happened. This is my time, Father. Don't deny me this opportunity. I'm ready. You honor me with your bravery. Remember your training. Focus on. I know, Father, I know. I have no reason to worry about the boy. He has already shown great skill, but I cannot help it. Hey, boss, we've got company. Ha ha ha! Woo! We're in luck today, boys. 4 more lambs led to the slaughter. Strangers are helping us. I can barely believe my eyes. Are you too weak from hunger to think clearly, Barlow? Move closer to those friendly ATCs. How many times do I have to tell you, Devlin? I'm not fat. I have a glandular disorder. Alright, here we go. We have full control over everybody now, except Camorsh. So, Camorsh will attack Bandit 7 and wipe him out, but his main priority will be to get over here and wipe out Bandit 9. So what we need to do is make sure that Camorsh cannot make any kills by attacking Bandit 7. So we're going to hit Bandit 8. Actually, let's go. Actually, yeah. So we're not going to touch Bandit 7 because if Camorsh sees it that he can one-shot him, he's going to go. I think he's going to go straight for it. So let's go right here. And we'll bring Ione next to Bastion. There we go. Okay, so this is a slightly long mission just by the number of ATCs that are on the field. It's not extremely long, but it is a bit lengthy compared to Destiny's Child. Now we don't have to worry about Devlin or Barlow because this battle is going to be long over before they're ever in any real danger of dying. Unless we literally just never attack anyone, there's really no risk of death. Okay, let me double check the turn order first. And we have Bastion and then Camorsh. So we're going to go beside the Imperial 7 and do a thrust. And there we go. And Bastion's going to take Imperial 7 from behind with a thrust. There we go. We should level up at this point. There it is. Now, 876 base power dexterity. So, dexterity is now at 6, and every time we level up, we're going to give 1 point to base, and then spread it out between the other stat points. So 1 to base, and then we have, let's see, a wind sealing stone, which means it's dexterity and agility based. Unfortunately, the attack part of it is really poor, so we might actually alternate between base, power dex, base, power, agility. So that's the plan. And we also have dormant skills to learn too, so we need to also make sure we get that. So let's end here. Camorsh can go to... He went backwards. Very interesting. This is a unique thing that happened too. So the rumors were true. These soldiers are out of control. They are attacking innocent travelers with Imperial ATCs, disgracing the very empire they pledged to serve. Franco, Halak, we have some discipline to met out. Father, 3 more Imperial ATCs just appeared on the canyon ridge. We're in serious trouble. Okay, so he's going to be distracted with Bandit 8, so we're going to focus on defeating these 2 bandits attacking Barlow and Devlin. We're going to wipe them out as quick as possible, so that by the time Camorsh is done fighting Imperial 8, Bandit 8, apologies, he will not be able to take out the 2 we are attacking. And if all goes well, we'll have enough time to get over to Sadira and wipe out some ATCs over there. I thought those three were Imperials, but they're fighting on our side. Okay, so now we're going to move Bastion to be beside Imperial 9, and we're going to do a normal thrust here. We're going to Reina behind Imperial 9 and do a thrust here. Camwar should not be able to reach. I just want to double check that. He should not be able to. Yep, he'll end up stopping here. We're going to do a thrust. There we go, severely weakened. And like I said, he's really focused on Bandit 8, so like I said, it's a really good thing. Let's move over to Bandit 3 and do a normal thrust here. Basically, we're prepping Bandit 3 for a one-shot from Bastion. Now, there's one thing I need to mention. In order to make sure my morale goes down, what I'm going to have to do is attack enemies from behind, as well, defeat enemies from behind. And we're also going to have to let our party die throughout missions, so that in both cases, the morale of your party will go down for each character. For the majority of characters we'll get, which is important, right? Like I said, we need a morale that is low in order to get the bad ending. Okay, so Bastion can't one-shot him right now, so actually wait, he can. And there we go. And we'll finish off the other Bandit 3 from behind, but let's make sure that Camwar can't get there. So Halak is next, and then Camwar, then Reina. Okay, so I have to go beside this Imperial first. Okay, there we go. Now, I should be able to go behind Bandit 3 and then do a normal thrust, but he might actually die. When is Bastion come up next? So Bastion is going to show up before Camwar, so we'll move Reina right here and attack Bandit 5. We'll weaken this one for Bastion. Okay, we're going to turn around, attack Bandit 5 again. Remember, we want Bastion to have the kills, and to make the kills from the back, not from the front or the side. Oh man, Franco. Okay, attack from the back with a strong slash. We should be able to wipe up Bandit 3 in one go. Oh, why? We should still be able to make the kill. Camwar should not be able to one-shot it from the side. Okay, we are gonna have to take this Bandit 5 kill with Reina. Because Franco or Halak will definitely take it, and then Franco's also going to be able to take it. So let's do that. Let's wipe out Bandit 5 there, but we're going to go from the side and not with long thrust. There we go. Okay, so when it comes to Reina, she needs to learn strong thrust. And that is learned the exact same way you would learn strong slash. So 8 base. Actually, let me verify that for you. So strong thrust requires, oh, apologies, I'm slightly wrong. It requires 8 base, 6 power, and 7 dex. So power and dex are reversed. There we go. Let's move in front of Franco so he'll use more AP to actually get past Reina if he decides to come down. And we are not going to hit Bandit 3. We're going to leave Ione here so Franco doesn't come down and take the kill. So as you can see, if you try to go for Imperials on the cliff, on the ridge, it's very likely you probably won't get a single kill. Sadira and her group are extremely powerful, and because of that, they can easily wipe them out. So let's go ahead and can we hit with like a thrust or even a slash, right? No, we can't. Okay, and our turn, Franco can't do nothing. Bastion, I would want to hit with that, but the accuracy is really low, so we might actually have to hit with normal slash. It's not great, but let me check with a slash. So let's risk it for the biscuit. Let's watch. Excellent. Okay, we lucked out here. Okay, perfect. Okay, so like I said, we're always going to give one to base. And then the next attacks we're going to learn is they're all wind attacks, right? So we're going to need for Tornado 10 dexterity and 8 agility, and as for Turbulence we'll need 12 dexterity and 10 agility. The problem with focusing on builds like that is that Bastion becomes a support character rather than a character who can make kills. So we do need to increase his power at the same time. So we'll follow the original plan where we increase base by 1 and then give 1 to power and then give 1 to dex and then alternate dex and agility. So we'll do it that way. He should have nothing. Okay, he got kick. Okay, let's see if we can get on the canyon ridge and in time to get that Imperial 8 AC, which in all honesty, it's probably not going to happen. Oh, I can attack from down here. Excellent. And we are pretty much done. Sadira's going to make that kill, as expected. Or Franco's going to make the kill. Okay, there we go. We have finished Bandit Brigade. Bandit Brigade. We searched everywhere, but there were no other survivors of the attack, nor did I expect there to be. Never in any of my battles have I seen such senseless carnage. Nor have I. Those sadistic freaks took pleasure in killing these people. We did not detect them until it was too late. My friends begged for mercy. I heard their screams. I think I'm gonna be sick. This is truly a dark day in the history of the Junaris Empire. And who are you to show such concern for the Empire? Are you not an Imperial citizen? Surely you recognize the face of your princess. Imperial princess! We have received many reports of soldiers using the power of the Empire for criminal acts. I journeyed here to investigate these rumors, and I have now confirmed them beyond any doubt. How can you be so clinical after witnessing this? This travesty! Imperial soldiers cut down innocent travelers and took glee in their deaths. You shouldn't be ashamed of what has taken place here, princess. You should be horrified. Is this what your precious empire stands for? The slaughter of the innocent and the desecration of the dead? Why do you not speak, princess? Have my words chipped at the royal heart of ice? Answer me! Lower your voice, Bastion. We all recognize the tragedy which has unfolded here. We thank you and your escorts for aiding us in the battle, princess. I can't believe that father is being so courteous to the child of the Empire himself. She represents everything I've always been taught to detest. Indeed, we are in your debt, good sir. Without your considerable strength, I doubt we could have prevented the rogues from prevailing here. In my humble opinion, there is no need for us to quarrel when our intentions were the same. Really? I always thought the Empire's intent was to plunder from anyone and everyone. You're probably upset that these people won't be around to pay any more travel tolls. I have had entirely enough of your misguided anger, boy. I have come here to stop these bandits from committing these horrible acts. Kazbira speaks the truth. It is the will of the princess to halt the anarchy and the bloodletting. Why do you believe otherwise? Why? Look at the senseless death before you, sir, and perhaps you will begin to understand. Hey you, self-righteous boy with the big mouth. You seem to think that it's only the Empire which visits evil acts upon the innocent. I assure you the Pharasic Kingdom has abused its power just as much, if not more. Impossible. Wrong, very possible, and very real. Have you ever seen the terrors these armies cause? Butchers are butchers, regardless of the crest under which they shed innocent blood. I admit that I have not seen the terror you have, sir, but I have never seen the kingdom's armies cause an atrocity like this, whereas I have seen them cause similar acts more times than I can count. The insanity of war drives the most honorable of men to commit the most unthinkable acts. The kingdom and the empire wage their endless battles, and the people of the continent endlessly suffer. Yes. I want the suffering to end, sir. That's why I'm here. I'm going to stop the war. I'm going to restore peace to our land and our people. I shall not forget this day, and I shall not fail. Franco, it's time to depart. Yes, Highness. I pray we shall not encounter another such scene in our travels. Had we met under a different set of circumstances, good sir, I believe we could have been friends. But you have my respect regardless of your feelings about the Empire. My respect follows you in kind, Franco. You know my name, sir, but I know not yours. I am Camorge. Camorge and Bastion, I believe you said earlier. Take care in your journeys. We should also make haste. Sharks come quickly at the scent of blood. Father, I suppose your long face means you believe we should invite these two travelers to join our party. You already saved both our lives, and now you would help us again? Your kindness knows no bounds. Yeah, thanks a lot. I really don't want to get beaten up again. I'm Devlin, and this is my special friend Barlow. Nice to meet you. Would you guys have any food? I have a glandular disorder. It makes me want to eat a lot. Well, hello, everybody. You weren't thinking of leaving without me, were you? Of course not. And who are you? You're alive. Ha! I knew those damn bandits could never have slain the infamous Andrew. Your Highness, you appear to be troubled. What news has caused your noble brow to furrow? Why was I not informed of your plans to travel into the war zone, Faulkner? You know how strong my desire to join you on the field of battle runs within me. It's entirely unacceptable that Sadira should be allowed to engage the enemy when I am not. Please forgive me, Highness, for we have discussed this many times in the past. You are the immediate heir of the Empire, Duyere. Your safety is my utmost concern. I cannot allow our future king to act frivolously where his life is at risk. You understand that? Yes, Faulkner, I am acutely aware of the many burdens placed upon me since my birth. But the fact remains that the desire to fight for the Empire I shall one day inherit cannot be denied. And to fight at the side of a legend such as yourself would be at once an honor and a privilege. You flatter me with your gracious words, Prince Duyere. My gracious nature shall turn foul if you continue to deny me the one thing I most crave. But the repairs on your Cerberus ATAC are incomplete, Duyere. You could not fight at full strength. Then I shall merely fight with more caution, Faulkner. Have you another excuse to proffer? Alright, Prince. You may accompany me, but you must promise to obey my orders at all times. Of course, Faulkner. I only ask to be treated the same as any soldier under your command. But you are no mere soldier, Duyere, and I cannot pretend otherwise. Then at least pretend to pretend, Faulkner. I demand it. As you wish, Majesty. That's better. Prepare my ATAC at once. I'm ready to go. Let's kick some Imperial butt and make tracks for the nearest brothel. Tell me, Devlin, has this man's, ego always been so dangerously inflated? Some people were bred to notice the boorish nature of such a braggart. All I know for certain is that he's an excellent fighter, and he's more than able to hold his liquor. I've never been particularly inclined to ask how he developed either skill. Hey man, don't you know you're not supposed to talk about me like that until you're behind my back? Father, I refuse to believe that the kingdom is as Devlin said, because if his words are true, then there's no reason to fight the Empire, because the citizens of the continent have already lost. Bastion, when we reach Galvis, you will understand why this war must be fought. You will learn. Wait, I detect two groups of ATACs, both in front of and behind us. We've been surrounded. More Imperial troops from the looks of them. See? I knew that princess didn't mean a word she said. Her soldiers are still wreaking havoc. These are no rogue soldiers, Bastion. These are the Empire's elite fighters. And I dare not tell you who leads them into battle. Alright, let's do a quick save here. And we're going to save in slot 2. Goodbye, sharking attack. You will be missed. And then we're going to do briefing. We are greatly outnumbered and under attack from both the front and the rear. I admire your perfect calm in the midst of such an overwhelmingly poor circumstance. I shall engage the rear troops I own. You and the others must fend off the frontal assault. Agreed. I'll fight with you, Father. No, Bastion, you must fight with Ione. Father, you can't defeat an entire battalion of Imperial troops by yourself. There's only room for a single soldier on the bridge, Bastion. I can and must hold them at bay. Of course, Father. I didn't mean to doubt you. There's no need to apologize, Bastion. I'm sure your father understands your concern. Indeed. Fight with honor, Camorsh. You as well, Ione. Faulkner himself has come to claim Bastion. Perhaps I should have known that he would. But that doesn't matter now. All that matters is preventing Bastion from falling into Imperial hands. I must prevail. Alright, just give me a second, probably like 1 minute. I'm gonna get myself some water. Alright, we are back. Let's go ahead straight into mission and go through Tragic Farewell. It has been far too long since I engaged in battle. I have longed to feel this excitement again. And I shall delight in slaying these ignorant fools who dare to defy the will of the Empire. Your Highness, General Faulkner said these Imperials... Your Highness, General Faulkner said these ATACs were to be captured, not destroyed. Yes, and when they resist capture, these rebels will have to be killed. I cannot wait. Now still your insolent tongue and escort me into battle. Alright, so this mission is rather easy. Quote-unquote easy. We can actually have Reyna sit here the whole time and long thrust the Imperial ATACs right here. And then we can have the rest of them just confront the bodyguards. Sarbellus, which is Duyer's ATAC, isn't all that difficult. It is fast, and it can hit you, but its level is so low that it's not really much of a threat. The only real threats you have to deal with is Bodyguard 1, because it has high HP as well as high attack power. And you see support skills, but the enemies don't use them, so we're lucky in that front. And yeah, you see it. So, let's go with we're gonna move everybody forward, and we're going to intercept the bodyguards. As for Kamorsh, do not worry, he'll be fine. Move Reyna forward, and typically I would have Reyna behind Kamorsh using long thrust the whole time and getting that extra experience, especially when Faulkner comes. So when Faulkner starts battling Kamorsh, you can get massive amounts of experience from that just because the level difference is so much higher. The only problem is that without high dex, hitting Faulkner is kind of a coin toss. So if you do manage to hit him, you will get quite a bit of experience. And if you miss, well, you've just basically missed a turn of experience. Now, Duyer does not run away from this battle, so we can safely wipe him out really quick if we really want to. And if you put Bastion here, you are going to die, so do not have him too far away from the rest of his group. So let's go ahead and use a strong slash, and let's watch this battle. Prince versus Prince. Okay, Reyna's going to use long thrust on Sarbellus. There we go. We can actually force him to never attack. And if we do that though, there is a unique dialogue where Duyer, depending on who he hits, will have a unique dialogue with another character. So really it is up to you if you want to see it. It's more of if he attacks Barlow, there's nothing said, but if he attacks Ione, they do have their own mini conversation. So we're gonna have him attack Devlin instead. But he's at FP 60, so he won't be able to attack. So let's put Devlin in front of Duyer. And we'll move Barlow to be right beside Reyna. Like so. Now we gotta wipe out as many soldiers as possible before Faulkner comes. Impressive. Very impressive. Neither his fighting skills nor his immense strength have dwindled with age. Which of you will lose to? Rather, which of you chooses to fight the old man next? I gladly volunteer to dispatch this rebel for you, sir. Alright, excellent. So we need to actually move Reyna away from the battle because, like I said, she has range to attack, which is long thrust, and with that she can provide more, I guess, assisted attacks rather than damaging attacks. Let's move Reyna over here. I will do a long thrust on Duyer. Okay, we're gonna move Barlow in more. He's not a character you really use throughout the game, but yeah, like when he's super weak, he becomes a real liability in battle, but he does become a nice pincushion for attacks. So yeah, we might just use him as a pincushion, but he'll still make attacks, right? He's gonna be useful driving up enemy FP. Okay, let's go ahead and use thrust. Strong slash on Duyer again. So Duyer will run away if Faulkner runs away. So that's why we had to take down Faulkner. Oh, actually, we don't have to take him down. We don't have to take Duyer down right away. His experience is really low. The only issue is the Ian Loggers, which is the bodyguards around him. They will do a lot of damage while we're not focusing on them. Okay, so now Faulkner's going to join the battle against Kamorsh. I've grown tired of feeding you these amateurs, old man. It's time for you to embrace your eternal judgment. You receive my sincere admiration, old man. A lesser warrior would have fled at my mere approach. Before I kill you, perhaps you could confess as to which of your precious companions is the royal one. The boy for whom you will so gladly sacrifice your own miserable life. You will never find him, Faulkner, but he will find you, and he will annihilate your cursed empire. Defiant to the end. I would expect no less from you. Now let us finish this with haste. The sooner you die, the sooner the eternal reign will begin. Okay, we're gonna keep attacking. There we go. And let's get rid of Duyere. So Bastion will be able to one-shot him very, very quickly. As soon as he gets an attack in. There we go. And can I get behind him? No, there's a bodyguard in the way. Okay, his agility is really high, so it's gonna be a fluke if I hit him. Okay, excellent. Got experience for that. And let's move out of the way. Actually, let's leave him right here. And we have 2 more turns before Faulkner and Camorge's battle is over. At that point, we need to run to a position where we can turtle up. Otherwise, we will lose. Like, it's guaranteed. It's a near guarantee we're going to lose if we don't have a turtle strat. Okay, so base, power, and then agility. Since we did Dex last time. Okay, let's do a long thrust and bodyguard 1. Your turn. Do a normal thrust. Still somehow missing. Okay, my apologies. Usually it takes 3 turns before they end up in this battle, so interesting. Have you seen that? Lightning Strike and then Wind Strike. They should both not be able to use that. Lightning Strike is unique to Ultra Gunner, and Wind Strike is unique to a Wind Sealing Stone. Faulkner has a Fire Sealing Stone. Foolish attack, easily countered. I expected more from you, Alagard. So much more. What's this? My leg servals are losing pressure, and my torso actuators have been damaged. Even in defeat, even in death, you surprise me. This battle has grown tiresome. Capture the remaining rebels and do it quickly. Yes, sir. Father! Father! Oof, okay. Now, these Imperials on either side of bridge are level 3 and 3, so they're not a danger. The only danger from them is them coming from behind and then freezing you. So that is the only real threat we have to deal with here. So we have to do what we can to wipe out the bodyguards quickly or freeze them as fast as possible. So attack from behind like so. There we go. 118 experience. We're going to hit... Actually, we are not going to kill with Devlin. We can wipe out Ian Lager right away. We do want to make sure that we drop morale as much as possible. So we'll put Devlin right here. End our turn. Barlow can go ahead and attack from the side. There we go. Now the problem with Barlow is if you want to raise his morale, just literally end his turn as soon as it's his turn. His morale will go up at that point. But if you want him to lose morale, just have him be defeated. Okay, always make sure he's doing something and make sure he's defeated in the battle to drop his morale. Otherwise, you can't really drop it. Let's avoid this. Excellent. RNG is with us, so that is really good. RNG usually is really bad. Anything 50% or over will get you hit. Sorry, I mean anything 80% or under is, I wouldn't say a guaranteed hit, but it is very likely you're going to be hit. So just a reminder for this route here, we are attacking from the back. We are going to play like newbies in a way. We're going to use default ATACs for each character, and we are trying to minimize experience gain for Bastion so that we can end up recruiting Malia. I think in chapter 15 is when we can. So that is why we are not playing optimally, and that's why Bastion does not have the Fire Sealing Stone. So if you see characters dying, that's fully intentional. I'm not trying to preserve their life whatsoever. Okay, and let's do long thrust, not in bodyguard 3. I still want Bastion to level up I do want him to be in Dion's test, which is going to be hell, because he's going to be in a 1v1 versus Marquis Dion and Andrew, which is not a good thing when you're using a wind sealing stone. But it's going to be a challenge, that's for sure. So we got to bring Bastion up a decent amount, right? A decent level, so that he can kind of survive Dion's test, but not exceed the threshold of experience that would prevent us from getting to Malia. Because if we get too high in experience, then it becomes a real nightmare trying to keep your level below 20 until we can recruit Malia. So yeah, we're gonna try not to let that happen. Okay, everybody's gonna die. Excellent. Yeah, that's good. This is good. This is good. Morale, everybody's morale. I need them all to drop pretty drastically. Okay, so base 8 power 6 dexterity 7 in order to get strong thrust. There we go. Now we have that. Oh, we can't move. Okay. Now let's move over here. We still have to make sure Bastion survives. If he dies, it's still game over. So everybody else can die, but not us. Okay, let's end here. And nobody's attacking Devlin. So the Imperial 3 and 4 are level 3, so they're not a real threat. Now Devlin is the easiest person to make hate you. Just literally... He dodged it. Shocker. So just literally let him die and defeat everybody from the back with him. And everything will be... And the morale will drop across the party. So, yeah. He's really easy to make hate you. Okay, we're gonna bring Bastion behind Imperial 3 and get that experience. I guess we're gonna have to use thrust here. There we go. Okay, I'm hoping they die before. I'm gonna leave Bodyguard 2 here, so because Bodyguard 2 is strong. So hopefully it can wipe out Reyna and Devlin before, I guess, it gets defeated, right? So we're gonna have Ione for, let's see, one more mission. So we can't really learn anything useful with her. So we'll give base 7 and power 8, because she's, after Araba Reclaimed is over, which is mission 4, which is the next mission, we will not have access to her anymore. We will gain Galvus in return though, and the only unfortunate thing about that is Galvus does leave in Nor's Reclaimed. So yeah. Okay, let's defend here. She dodged it. Excellent. Just kidding, say excellent. That's not excellent. It's not a good thing. Let's go ahead and attack strong thrust, and she dodged another one. This is well, it's not really working out the way I wanted. I wanted everybody to die. Okay, so base power, and then we did hit agility, so we'll do dex next. Did we unlock any dormant skills for this? No, not yet. We are going to focus on maxing out Bastion and getting all his dormant skills. He becomes an absolute powerhouse, and the attacks that are useful for Dion's the dormant skills useful for Dion's test is reflect attack and parry. Those two really, like, that was lost on me for some reason. Okay, so we're gonna go back here, do a strong slash, get our experience. There we go. And I guess we'll take down Imperial 4 from the back. Okay, let's avoid. Okay, didn't get killed. Unfortunate. Ione can do nothing. Reyna can do nothing. Devlin can do nothing. Oh, and Devlin likes to do stuff, so if you have him do nothing in a battle, his morale actually drops. So we're gonna do a strong slash from the back. Let's watch this final attack. There we go. One shot. The battle is won. Okay, so if you're new to the Kingdom route, here is the pivotal moment. If you've reached level 8 by the time you defeat the final enemy here in chapter 3, you will be presented with these two options. We must attend to Camorsh. I shall find that murderer. The first option will continue you along the kingdom route, and if you've already beaten the game once, will allow you to potentially get into the ruin route by the end of chapter 8. But here, if you choose I shall find that murderer, you will be pushed into the Empire route, and it'll be a linear path until the end of chapter 17, where you can either end up in the Sicilia or the Sidira ending branch. So it's up to you. We must attend to Camorsh for the kingdom route, and later on the ruin route, or I shall find that murderer for the Empire route. Now we're continuing here along the kingdom route because we need the bad ending, so we are going to choose this. Oh Father, please be alright. Bastion, listen carefully to what I have to say. For my time in this world is slipping away. Father, save your strength. I won't let you perish. Just lie still and allow us to treat your wounds. I cannot protect you any longer, Bastion. You must complete your journey without me. Draw upon the strength of Puck, Malia, and the new allies that share your love of justice. Ione, Reyna, I beg you to help Bastion and to watch over Puck, Malia. Stop this, Camorsh. Stop speaking as if your death is assured. Alas, it is. The wounds which I have suffered are mortal. Please press down hard on that bandage, Bastion. You must stop the bleeding. Tell Galvus that the Supreme Spirit sleeps at the feet of the lion. Tell him to guide the holy lineage to the light. Your delirious father, the words you speak make no sense. Bastion, I speak wisdom, and one day you shall understand. I have one final secret before you complete your journey. You need to know how it began. Please hurry, Your Majesty. The Imperial forces are closing fast. I appreciate your concern, Alucard, but I am not unaware of the forces that swarm towards us. Wait! Zavaro, you are the one who led the Imperial forces here? You were the one who betrayed my trust? Why? Because I learned the truth. I learned that my village was destroyed by the kingdom, not the Empire. It is my wife's blood that stains your hands, and it is your blue blood that shall adorn my sword. Emperor Degal has told you lies, Savaro. He's using your grief to manipulate you. Enough! I don't care which of you is a liar, because both of you partake of the bitter cup of my revenge. Savaro, I grieve for your loss, but this is madness. No amount of bloodshed will bring her back. Your Majesty, this is not the time to engage in debate. I will battle Savaro while you flee the capital. No, Alucard. I shall stay here to give Savaro the opportunity for his revenge. What? Now it is you who speaks madness. Majesty, I am sworn to lay down my life for yours. And as your commander, I hereby absolve you of your duty. Now go. The Imperials are moments away. I shall never forget your honor and bravery, Majesty. Never. I sentence you to death for your crimes against humanity. Your execution shall be swift. Nay, it is you who shall perish this black day, Savaro. Your death shall be as senseless as your wife's. I only wish that I could make you see the truth. Father, what happened to you? What a provocative development. Faulkner's father, slain by the king himself. Why are you fools standing there? Pursue Alagard and capture him. Father. Oh, Father. Faulkner, I am sorry for your loss. Savaro was a great man. You must bear his legacy with honor. And you must help me to restore the Empire to its former glory. Then, we shall exact our revenge. I will do anything and everything I can possibly do to assist you, Emperor Degal. I will devote my life to the destruction of the kingdom. Your devotion will be richly rewarded in time, Faulkner. I promise you. Thank you, Your Majesty. Father, I will drown the soldiers of the kingdom in an ocean of their own blood. I swear it on your soul. And as the king bravely fought his final battle, I spirited his only son away from the castle. You fought for the kingdom, Father? You are a bodyguard of the king? How can this be? The days have passed so quickly, Bastion. I always thought of you as a boy, but you are now a man. You might not have been my son by blood, but you have become my son in my heart. What are you saying? Bastion, you must walk the road onto which your consciousness guides you. I ask you to live with honor, and to walk with the light. Father? Father, wake up. What do you mean I'm not your son? Answer me, Father. Father! No. Oh no. I wish there was something we could say to ease Bastion's pain, but all we can do is watch him mourn. There is something we can do, Reyna. We can take him to Galvus and help him to discover the truth. It was Camorge's dying wish that we do so, and I would never refuse the request of such an honorable man. Bastion needs Emilia. Go to his side and comfort him in his grief. Yes, of course. We can't leave Camorge's ATAC here to be cut into scrap by bandits, Puck. Can you control the Barazaf? Yeah, I can drive it, but I don't know how to fight in it. That's fine. I wouldn't expect you to have any combat training. Devlin, what about you and Barlow? Are you going to travel onward with us, or make your own path? We're coming with you, not just because it's safer, but because we want to know what's going on. Alright then, program a course for Araba Castle, due east of here. Whoa, excuse me, gorgeous, but am I the only one who's noticed that we're headed straight for Araba Castle? Well, aren't you the observant one? Why do you ask? Oh, just because it was stormed by Imperial forces a short while ago? I'm sure they'll be thrilled to see us. I mean, you can never have too many prisoners of war, right? What are you talking about? Araba Castle would never fall into the hands of the Empire. Never say never, my bodacious friend. Not only have they claimed the castle, they also captured some general. Galvus? Yeah, that's him. He must be a pretty important guy, cause Duke Zera is headed for Araba to rescue him. Duke Zera, the ruler of Avalon. Why didn't you tell us about all this sooner, you twit? I would have, but I kept getting lost in a daydream about you, me, and a hot tub full of chocolate pudding. Spare me your sick little fantasies and explain how you came to know what happened at Araba Castle. Hey, don't knock the pudding thing till you've tried it. And as for how I know about Araba, it's obvious. All that's obvious to me is that no one has loved you as much as you love yourself. Now explain. I knew about Araba because, drumroll please, I'm the coolest. What are we going to do now, Ione? Hey, aren't you going to show a little appreciation for the info I just gave you? Preferably with your lips? Well, we obviously can't continue on to Araba if Andrew is telling the truth, of course. But I'd rather not take any chances. I suggest we meet with Duke Zera and determine what's happening. As usual, I completely agree. Back to the west we go. Well, ladies, I'm afraid you're going to have to live without me for just a little while. Could you make that forever? I like your sense of humor, my juicy little peach, but you're prettier when you don't speak. Anyway, there's a town near here with a few female friends of mine, and we get along very well. How wonderful for you. Really, let's keep moving, everyone. Zera's castle isn't far now. Why must you play so hard to get? I know that you want to ravage me like a rabid weasel. Ah, well, I'll be back soon, darling. Perhaps you'll have some sugar for me when I return. He always disappears like that, sometimes for days. I don't know why, and I don't want to know. All I know for sure is that I wouldn't especially mind if he were to wander off the nearest cliff. Oh, Bastion, I cannot bear to see you in such pain. Reina, that is truly one of the most tragic tales I've ever heard. And another good reason why we must hurry to Galvas's defense. By the way, I am Duke Zera, leader of the Avalon Principality, Bastion. It is an honor to meet you. Bastion, please show some respect. The Duke is talking to you. It is quite understandable, Reina. I've taken no offense. He's been through quite an ordeal. I know the pain you feel inside draws you away right now, Bastion, but just listen to what I have to say. Galvas Darrett is being held against his will in Araba Castle. I intend to free him. I want to. No, I need your help. Just one ATAC could be the difference between victory and defeat. Reina has informed me that Camor's hinted at Galvas knowing a secret that will be of value to you. I feel like Galvas may hold the answers to questions. I feel like Galvas may hold the answers to many of your questions that yet remain. In fact, my intelligence officers have returned with a piece of information that may stir your interest. The Imperials guarding the Araba Castle are the ones your father fought at Makui Bridge. They are? The time before departure dwindles even now, Bastion. I'd be honored if you join me at Araba Castle. Reina has spoken of your skill. It seems you would be a great asset to the cause. Sir, I shall accompany you. I attach but one condition. Promise that you will not interfere when I slay the pig who murdered my father. Upon my honor, Bastion. Alright, just give me 1 second, and I'm gonna grab some water. Alright, I have returned. Alright, so here we go. Now if you're new here, we are basically just following the same. We're keeping the default ATACs, the default ceiling stones on the characters, and we are draining morale. Well, we're basically making morale plummet so we can get the bad ending. And that's basically it. And we're using the wind ceiling stone for Bastion, so it's going to be very difficult from here on because the wind ceiling stone is not good until you get at least I believe the olivine, so you can get wind strike. So we're gonna save and then do Araba's castle, and we're avoiding going into the interview board because that will increase morale every time we talk to a character. That's not something we want to do. Okay, briefing time. Haven't come to reclaim Araba, not yet anyway. Our only objective is to rescue poor Galvas. Ione and Reina have examined the maps obtained by intelligence. I believe they have found a way in. Our main task is to keep the Imperials busy to buy Ione and Reina time to find Galvas. However, we mustn't let them know we are restraining ourselves. We must maintain a fragile illusion. 2 attack squads will be utilized. A primary force will attack from the front, secondary from the side. Gamlan and I shall lead the primary force. Bastion, you shall lead the secondary squad. If our intelligence is correct, we shall be facing substantially more ATACs than I had expected. What of the man who killed Father? Faulkner, do you expect him to join his troops in battle? I can't be certain, Bastion, but it is very likely. A general must lead, or he loses the respect of his men. Remember, the task is to hold the Imperials until Galvus is spirited away to safety. As soon as we receive word from Ione, we must immediately retreat to Avalon. I know you crave revenge, Bastion. I just cannot allow you to risk Galvus's life to exact it. Okay, so here's the interesting thing. In the Vanguard Bandits walkthrough, there's when Devlin tells... Oh, I'll talk about it during battle. As you know, gentlemen, Avalon has sent an army to reclaim this castle. I expected this, and am unconcerned. We shall allow Duke Zera and his forces to come. They shall exhaust themselves in the assault. And then we shall reveal our true strength, at which point the Duke and his men shall be annihilated. That is all, gentlemen. Return to your posts and await further orders. I trust that you have an excellent reason for interrupting this meeting. I am sorry, Excellency. I felt it important to inform you that Prince Duyere has departed. What? I gave specific orders that no one was to enter or leave Araba until the Avalon threat was quelled. And I informed him as such, dear Excellency. But he is the Imperial Princess. He was quite adamant. He made no sense, just muttering over making up for his mistakes in the battle at the Makwi Bridge. I apologize and beg for forgiveness, Excellency. This makes the situation rather complicated. Damn that Duyere. Your orders have changed, gentlemen. We must mobilize our ATACs to fight alongside the brave Prince Duyere. We shall undoubtedly suffer more casualties than I had originally anticipated, but our superior fighting skill and strength of numbers shall still assure us of victory. Of course, you must leave a regiment within the castle. I have decided upon yours, Commander Zakov. What? And why should my men and I be deprived of a role in the glorious victory to come? Surely a man of your experience and wisdom realizes that we cannot leave Araba exposed, Commander. You should be honored that I have entrusted you with a task of such great importance, not insulted. There is no honor in cowering behind castle walls, Faulkner. I wish to fight. Unfortunately, Zakov, I have neither the time nor the energy to engage you in a debate. You shall obey my orders, and you will guard Araba until my return. I'll be very disappointed if you fail to heed my instructions, Zakov. Very disappointed. Do you understand the gravity of the words I've imparted to you here? How I would love to kill you slowly, you sarcastic bastard. I understand, fucker. Your accent seems to have suddenly thickened, Commander. I pray for your sake it lightens soon. Now then, protecting Galvus during the attack shall be of vital import. He may yet prove useful. This will be a glorious day in the history of the Empire, gentlemen. To battle! Duyere was once a mere annoyance, but now he's a threat to my plans. I must deal with him carefully. Hey, where are the guards we're supposed to be relieving? Are we late for our shift? I didn't realize we'd spent so long swilling ale. Galvus! Help me, Ione. We have to figure out how to get him out of this cell. I think I have a good idea of how to accomplish that, Reyna. I just need to fill up these guards. It's a little smaller than average, but here it is. The key to Galvus's cell. A lot easier than trying to squeeze through those bars, if you ask me. Galvus, we've come to rescue you. But you probably realized that when we demonstrated our hand-to-hand combat skills on these poor fools. Ugh. Galvis, are you injured? Have these Imperials been torturing you? I'll be alright. The only torture I've undergone is being allowed to use the facilities only once a day. Perhaps we can stop at a restroom after you free me from this accursed dungeon? I apologize, Sir Galvis, but you'll need to hold it until after we've left the castle. Nice work, ladies. Very nice work indeed. The boss will be impressed when he hears about this. The plan seems to be a success. Every ATC in Araba must be out here to engage us. I just pray that the women find Galvis before these wretched Imperials tarnish us too badly. Bastion, you must attack now. That ATC, it's Faulkner! Stick to Zera's plan, Bastion. If you do anything stupid, you put all our lives at risk. You understand that, don't you? Okay, so what I was trying to say earlier before that cutscene popped up, these options here actually dictate how Devlin ends up feeling, right? So the walkthrough states that if I choose I don't care, what happens is Devlin, his attack power actually increases. I've never tested that, so I don't know if it's true, but if it is, that's interesting, because if you press circle on a character, you get those 4 head icons. Those head icons actually represent something according to the instruction manual. So let's see. I'll pick I don't care, and let's see if Devlin is stronger than when we fought the bodyguards in a previous mission. You can worry about your own life, Devlin. I'm here to claim revenge, nothing more. I know full well about wanting revenge, Bastion. I have lost both friends and family to the Empire. But if you attack Faulkner, you jeopardize the life of Galvis, the only one who can explain what your father told us with his final breath. Be patient, Bastion. You'll have your chance for revenge soon enough. But I have a chance for revenge at this very moment. Okay, so So I press circle, and if you look under Ratatosk and the HP, you see 4 face icons, right? The top left represents anger. Represents anger, and the larger it is, the more of an attack boost he has. So I've never seen, in my experience playing, like the last four times, right? The last 4 stream series that we've been doing, I've never seen any substantial increase to stats, right? So I wonder if it's just one of those things in old guides, well, in the old instruction manual, that wasn't actually true. Like maybe a mistranslation, because this game is actually Epica Stella from Japan. It's not actually a North American game. So, I don't know. We're going to see how strong Devlin actually is, though, when we attack the Imperials on the bridge. So let's see if he's stronger than in the previous mission. Yeah. So, the nature of this mission is that there are a ton of ATCs, so this is going to be one of the longer ones, and because of that, there are lots of AI characters here too, so there's going to be lots of waiting. So unfortunately, it's not something we can speed up in any way, so we're going to have to deal with it. I guess I was going to say the good thing, but it's not really a good thing. What we're going to do in this battle is Sadira, Franco, and Halak appear again, just like in Bandit's Brigade, which was mission 2, at the edge of the map. So when they come, it appears that you cannot even fight them, but in actuality, you actually can. So we're going to make sure we wipe out everybody in this mission, including Sadira, including Faulkner, including Zakov when he pops out of the castle. So we're gonna make sure we do that. We're gonna get lots of experience, and I do need to make sure that Bastion does not get too strong. I think by the time he gets to Dion's test, he should be... I would try to make sure he's level 13 and not above it. 15 will be the absolute limit, because at that point, it's really easy to accidentally level up past 20. Just because we're trying to bring everybody's morale down, right? So we need them to die, and Bastion's gonna be the only one who can actually make the kills after that. After that happens, right? So, yeah, we're gonna defeat Sadira, Franco, and Halak when they pop up, as well as all the enemies in the mission. Okay, we're gonna move. I don't think Bastion has Tornado yet, right? No. So he's gonna get Tornado. It looks like the next time he levels up, let me check the my build thing here for a second. So 10 dexterity and 10 agility. So 2 more to dex and then 1 more to agility. Oh wait, no, sorry. 2 more points to dex and then 1 to agility, and he'll get Tornado. We're gonna do that instead of do base, power, and then I guess agility. I'm just gonna make sure we at least have Tornado so we can strike from behind, right? From 2 spaces away. While Devlin and Barlow sit up front, and then Ione when she appears later on. Okay, these Imperials, they're the weaker ones. The thing you have to remember about this mission is that it is extremely difficult to deal with as a first-time player. So what you need to do is stay on this bridge. No matter what, don't leave the bridge. Because if you leave and you try to go Rambo on everybody, or even take your team to fight the Imperials who are here, it's highly likely you're not going to succeed. Because if you actually manage to succeed, you are godly at the game. But sorry, but that's not the way it works. In Vanguard Bandits, there's no such thing as a godly character or even a godly strategy. So yeah, do not rush. Stay on this bridge until all the Imperials, everybody's defeated. Okay, we're gonna attack from the front. We're gonna weaken this guy. Yeah, we just need... Okay, not gonna hit him though. We need to level up Bastion one more time for a Tornado. Okay, I think Zakov appears after this turn. Very, very soon, before I get my turn. Yeah, here it is. The Avalon ATACs are putting up a good fight against Fokker. I told that fool he could not win without my help. But perhaps I can take advantage of this situation and show Prince Duyere that it is serf to be a general. Soldier, come here at once. Yes, sir. Fetch Galwas from the dungeon and bring him to me. Yes, sir. I will display Galwas for everyone on the battlefield to see. The Avalon army will be forced to retreat. And I will be hailed as the man who changed the course of the war. Commander Zakov, why have you not brought Galwas to, as I ordered you do? He escaped, sir. What? He must be guarded by at least 2 men at all times. Where are the fools now? They're dead, sir. Broken necks. Galwas must have killed them as he escaped. If they weren't already dead, I would have killed them myself. Faulkner will have my head when he hears this news. Unless... If Galwas has escaped, then we must recapture him. You soldiers, come with me. We are joining the battle with Faulkner. But I thought General Faulkner's orders were for us to remain here in the castle, Commander. That was before Galwas escaped. When we find him and defeat these Avalon fools, Faulkner will not care. As you command, sir. What is Zakov doing? I cannot believe he'll so blatantly disregard my orders. I knew he had ambitions to impress the prince, but this bold maneuver is certainly unexpected. After his battle is won, I will have to consider the best way to deal with him. Perhaps permanently. Duke Zera, Galwas with us, and he's alright. Good work, Ione. All ATACs, prepare to fall back. Wait, Zera, not yet. The ATACs which were guarding the castle have followed us in pursuit of Galwas, which means they have left Araba almost completely defenseless. These Imperial fools have given us a perfect opportunity to reclaim Araba for the kingdom. Sarah, if you can continue to distract the Empire's forces for a short while longer, Reyna and I will join with Bastion's squadron and storm the castle. That's a fine idea, Ione. We'll keep these Imperial pigs busy for as long as you require. Bastion, we're coming up behind you. Give us a few moments. And once we join you, proceed directly to the castle entrance. Ignore the Imperials. Okay, so that is a very quick way to end this mission, is by basically going to the front of the castle gates, and then the mission will automatically end. Like I said, we're not going to do that. We are going to wipe out everybody we possibly can while maintaining Bastion's level at a low, level state for Bastion. It's going to be difficult, so everybody else is going to need to make a lot of kills and make a lot of attacks. That's why we need Tornado right now, so Bash can hide behind everybody and pepper them with Tornado. Okay, so we'll use Thrust here. So that was 14. I'm going to need to check like the recording, like the stream recording, to see if that's more damaging than in the previous mission. Level 4. So he was fighting bodyguards in the last mission. Freaking, I can't tell until after the stream is over and I look at the recording of the stream. So we're just gonna keep attacking, wiping everybody out as we go. And here's Sidira. What is Faulkner doing here? And for what reason has he invaded this castle and provoked the kingdom? Right, Sidira, you know quite well that Faulkner has never needed a reason to embrace violence. He lives for it. Your Highness, do you recognize that ATAC across the way? If I'm not mistaken, it's being driven by the young man we encountered at Igas Canyon. Bastion? The boy who condemned my father's empire for waging war? And here he is, battling against us. Is our empire truly so evil that it inspires such hatred in the hearts of men? Sidira, we have no reason to stay here and watch this, especially not if it upsets you. We can discuss your concerns about Faulkner with your father when we return home. No, I want to watch this. So there's an interesting piece of info here. Faulkner and Zakov didn't respond to the princess appearing on the battlefield. So it's like one of those things that occur in a game that basically puts a question mark over your own head of why, right? Like why didn't they interact with their princess? Alright, so Devlin has a unique attack. This one is actually massively overpowered, although the accuracy of it is extremely abysmal. So in order to get his ultimate attack, which is Burning Soul, and I call them unique attacks, not ultimate attacks. So unique attack, Burning Soul, he's going to need the final Fire Seal Stone, as well as he's going to need 16 base and 20 power. The good thing about that, working towards Burning Soul, is that on the way you'll get Fireball, and you'll also get Flare Bomb, which are massively overpowered fire attacks, which you must get. So we're going to do this. One base, so he gets an HP boost, and we're give it actually no, let's increase his power to 10 right now, and then from here on we'll do base 1 power 2, or sorry, base 1 power and then dex 111 every single time. The only unfortunate thing is his agility is going to be low, so we might have to follow the same leveling pattern as we are with Bastion, because even though he'll be extremely powerful, he's going to be a glass cannon. And actually, now that I'm thinking about this, that's exactly what I want to happen. I need him to constantly die, right? So that might actually be a good thing. But yeah, definitely get him Burning Soul before chapter, let's go with chapter 15. Try and make sure he has Burning Soul. Okay, so Reyna and Ione are walking up behind us. Zakov will come directly to us, so that's something we have to, I wouldn't say worry about, but it's something that's going to happen. He has a range to attack of Ice Shards, so because of that he can hit Bastion. He will not though, he will instead focus on whoever's in front, unless someone in the back is frozen, which shouldn't actually happen. And Zakov is really strong. He's not as strong as Faulkner, but he is strong enough to be dangerous. Just like in the previous mission too, Duyere is not a danger, so it's very likely he'll probably be no, I wouldn't say. I was gonna say he'll be defeated here, but it's very unlikely he will be. But he is not a threat whatsoever. Shoot, Barlow's in the way. Okay, we've got to move Barlow out of the way so that Bash can make the kill. And let's go ahead with Thrust. Now with Devlin, like I said, all I want to do, well, I got Fireball already, right? So there we go. Wipe out as many people as you can. And from here, just make sure he increases his, just levels up. That's really all I'm trying to say. There's no specific pattern other than what I said earlier. So let's go Long Thrust. Taking him enough. Bastion needs to hopefully get behind. Okay, we're going to avoid this one. Since we can't defeat Imperial 4 from behind, we'll have to do it from the side. And just so you know, you see Y-Band, right? That's the one Gamelon is using. Actually, they weren't introduced yet. Here we go. If you don't know, this is Gamelon and he has Y-Band. This is actually a really good ATAC. It's just, it's not being driven by a very good pilot. But personally, I find it extremely useful. Oh, he still has 301 experience left to get. Okay, he's going to stay in the front for now until he levels up. And he'll stay in front with Devlin. Okay, Ion's going to stay let's go with 3 spaces away from the enemy when they finally appear. Then as soon as Bastion gets Tornado, we'll swap him with Ion. And we'll make sure he's hitting Faulkner, nobody else. Because hitting Faulkner with Tornado will reduce... No, sorry, not Faulkner, Zakov. When he gets attacks... When Zakov finally attacks, we'll use Tornado on Zakov. Because that'll... in addition to doing damage and being a +2 range attack, it will also reduce enemy attack power. So it can make sure we keep Devlin alive longer. Okay, Kingdom Forces are just about wiped out, like I said. They really have no shot at survival here. Even Zera, like, he's really strong now, but he gets wiped out so easily because of the way the AI plays him. Okay, so we're gonna sit right here, and then Devlin will be able to hit Zakov. Actually, let's sit right here, and we'll have Bastion sit in front of Zakov. Go. Okay, well, he moved there, which is not what I wanted, but it is what happened. Okay, moving Reyna up the bridge. And Bastion is going to go in front of Zakov. The safest way to fight this guy is just constantly using Tackle, because, like I said, he's really strong, and he will always counterattack, as you can see right here. So let's use Tackle, and hopefully we hit him. No, dang it. It's not guaranteed to hit, by the way. It's something to hope for. Okay, so once Gamelon and Zera are gone, Faulkner, Duyere, and the rest of the Imperials will start coming straight towards the bridge. Now, Halak, Franco, and Sadira will do absolutely nothing. They won't ever try and attack you at all. Halak and Franco will only hit you as a counterattack, and Sadira will never attack you back. So you could you're basically safe for getting basically free experience from them. Okay, let's use a normal thrust. Oh wait, let me adjust what Halak and what's your name? Halak and Franco do. If you're within range of their attack, they will attack you. The one you have to worry about is Halak. Halak is really strong. Like, for an old woman, she is very powerful for early game, right? So you don't want to let her make attacks. That's really what I'm trying to say. Okay, so I forgot to move Devlin out of the way, so we're just going to do long thrust on the Imperial. Okay, Ions can go ahead and just do normal attacks. So if you get their FP to 60, what they will... should I attack Imperial 7 instead? Yeah, let's try and get experience here. So if you try, like I was saying, if you get their experience up, their FP up to 60 or above, they will skip their turn. So that's a good strategy you can use. If you can't freeze anyone, try and get their FP to 60 and move on to another target. The enemies that have FP 60 or above will skip their turn, and believe me, it's extremely useful knowledge, and you will use it now that you know it. A lot. You'll use it a lot. Okay, we have to take care of Zakov before Faulkner appears, because he has Melting Flare, and that is a range to attack. Okay, Reyna is going to go ahead and attack Zakov. She's taking a lot of damage, but the point of this is not to defeat him with Reyna. The point of this is to raise his FP high enough that potentially he ends up frozen, or better yet, he we end up being frozen if we do that, and he'll skip his turn if we do this. So we want experience right now. We want to get Tornado, so we'll defeat this Imperial. There we go, and let's move here to 10, and we'll move back from Zakov and make sure we face him so we take less damage. Okay, Ion can move. Let's make sure. Imperial 6, 5, and wait, wasn't that 6? Oh, that's 8. Oops. So to make sure that Devlin can move first, because I want him to take that spot, that recently opened spot. Okay, so we'll leave Ion right here, and Zera's gonna be wiped out very soon. Okay, now Zera's gone. There we go. Now we have about 2 or 3 turns before Faulkner and Duyar make it towards us. Devlin needs to move here. Use Fireball. And he's just going to keep using Fireball the whole time. And yeah, there we go. Okay, Reyna's going to long thrust Zakov. And oh, she's taking so much damage. Shoot. Let us move. Now we'll end our turn here. Bastion can go ahead with Strong Slash, and we will. Well, let's see. Tackle. We'll do it. It's a huge payoff if you hit him, because he gets frozen. And you can just like do tons of attacks on him, but our HP goes down quite a lot. Let's do it. Shoot. We can. I was hoping to end up parrying that, right? Even at 99%, parry, or not parry, but dodging attacks is still very possible and happens a lot more than you may think. What? They're not moving. Okay, that's unusual. This run is a run full of unusual behavior. From Camorge getting frozen to things happening that honestly I've never seen before. Like in this case, Faulkner and Duyar staying in one place. I've honestly never seen that before. Alright, so Dexterity, we need it to be 10, so we currently have 8, so 9, 10. And let me double check. Tornado has 10 Dexterity and 8 Agility, so we have that already. And we're going to put one more to base. There we go. Now we have Tornado. We're not going to be able to get Turbulence until we get the next level Wind Sealing Stone, so move back 2. And then Reyna can go ahead with Long Thrust. Or maybe Strong Thrust. Who do I want in front again? We had Devlin in front, Ion, and Barlow. You know what? Let's put Barlow here. He's really weak, but he'll get defeated, and that's something we want to happen. Let's end our turn. Okay, now they're moving. Okay, Fireball. Should we use Fireball on Zakov? 8, 5, and 6. So 5 and 6 are next, so they'll move forward if we move Devlin out of the way. Let's not. Let's just leave Zakov for somebody else. Oh. My brain malfunctioned there. I forgot they could take that spot. So we'll just use a normal thrust here. Okay, Reyna's Trick. This is where we start focusing on getting her unique attack. So Reyna's Trick requires her level 4 Sealing Stone, which is Lapis Lazuli, and it's going to require a base of 16 and dexterity of 20. The remaining stats have to be at 7, but we'll get them when we need it, right? Let's focus on increasing her base to 16. So 1 there, and then 20 to dex. So we'll do it like this. He's gonna hit Reyna, hopefully. Oh, he hits Devlin. Nice. So let's defend this. And let's go ahead and do a normal thrust. There we go. We should level up. Excellent. Okay, so base 1 and let's increase his defense. Never increase weapon until you, well, just never increase weapon stat. It is not useful for the majority of the game, or actually any time in the game, because the weapons you buy in stores will give you more weapon power than you can possibly allocate your own stats to. So let's go base power and dexterity. There we go. Ion's gonna take this position. I need her to attack Zakov. I need to drive his HP down as fast as possible. This Falconer is racing over. Oh, I mean, everybody else is racing over. Okay, so we can long thrust Zakov. I think. Let's see. So Zadira, Duyere, and Bastion is next. The Bastion has Tornado right now. There's a possibility that he misses Zakov, so we will risk it. And hopefully he does hit Zakov. When you use an effect type attack for a kill or anything else, the experience you get is so drastically reduced, it's like getting no experience whatsoever. Well, that's 60%. Let's see if it hits. Shoot. Okay. So, yeah, using an effect type attack will net you like almost nothing in experience. So if you don't have to use it, don't use it. Let's go ahead and thrust. Okay, Barlow's gonna do. Let's move Barlow back here. End our turn. Remember, if we just basically end his turn without having to do anything, his morale goes up. And like I said, that's something we're avoiding. Okay, now let's get rid of this Imperial. Well, not get rid of him, but weaken him further. End our turn. Ione. Let's see if she can get rid of Zakov. Let's use. Get rid of him. I have to. Him being here actually makes it a high risk that the mission will have to be redone. And there is an option like this, saving, but I reject that entirely. I reject doing that. Oh man. Okay, let's end our turn. Now Deer doesn't have a range to attack, so that's a good thing. Okay, let's try Tornado again. Excellent. There we go. Okay, turn 59. That's actually really good. And we're gonna have bodyguards to contend with now. This is a risky maneuver, which probably will fail, so we'll use normal thrust. Okay. Ione is not someone who's gonna stick with us. She leaves at the end of this mission, so let's increase her defense as high as... Sorry, let's increase her defense by 2 and attack by... No, let's do this. Base agility and defense, right? Give her a bit more survivability. And let's try and wipe out the Imperials. Okay, we can't move... Well, we're gonna move Barlow, right? Ione. Let's use Strong Slash. There we go. And she has Turnquake, which is actually really useful. If an enemy's facing you, you can actually use Turnquake, and if you get their back, you will end up doing more damage to them, versus if you just attack them normally from the front. Okay, let's go ahead, long thrust. And Duyer is going to wipe out Ione, probably. Let's see. Okay, yeah, there's no shot here, so we have to try and avoid this. Excellent. Okay, let's go ahead with Strong Slash right here. There we go. Let's end. And we'll put Barlow in that opening now. Unless one of the Imperials takes it. Okay, Devlin. Can't do anything. Okay, here we go. Here's the threat. Melting Flare. Nice. Okay, defense down. Trust me, that's not a good thing. If the enemies could use their support skills, believe me, that the enemies would be like nearly impossible to defeat. Because let's say Faulkner would use Melting Flare, and then from there, another enemy would use Searing Flame on him, and then Faulkner attacks, right? Attacks your ally who has what's the word? Who has defense down on themselves. And then also Faulkner, who has Searing Flame, which is a weapon power boost skill. Well, that basically one-shot you. So the fact that enemies can't use support skills is is a really good thing. Okay, so Devlin can't do anything. Once Ione is defeated, I'm gonna put Devlin in that position. Hopefully he can get there before another enemy takes over that spot. End our turn here. Okay, Ione, let's try Turnquake again. If we can get Duyer to face the other way, we can attack from the back without fear of a counterattack. But as you can see, it's not working out. So let's end our turn here. Bastion can't do anything. Rhaenys, let's go ahead with long thrust. End our turn. And this is basically how we're going to play for the foreseeable rest of the mission. Otherwise, we die. Like, there's nothing else we can do. It's so hard to hit. Let's do it. Bye. Okay. Shoot. Okay, we're still surviving this. If anything, we might have to hightail it to the castle. It's going to be extremely hard to do it from this position, but it is fully possible if we can manage to make make at least one path out of here. Okay, let's go ahead and use skill on... We need to... I want to hit Duyer from the back, right? With long thrust as well as a strong thrust. That'll get rid of one of the strong enemies. But Bodyguard 2, I'm going to hit instead because reducing the number of enemies is actually more beneficial than taking out the stronger ones. So let's do this and do strong slash on Bodyguard 2. End our turn. And we'll do a long thrust on Bodyguard 2. There we go. One down. Now, if we can get rid of one more, we should have a much easier time with this. Okay, we're going to lose Devlin. Okay, lose Devlin. Now, here's what I need to do immediately. Bastion needs to go up front. Oh, I should check the turn order. Okay, trying to avoid this. Okay. Very dangerous position right now, so Faulkner recovers FP. Strong slash. End our turn, and we're going to take down this bodyguard right away. Go and do Turnquake on the bodyguard. And we're going to, well, it's facing us now, so that's a bad thing. Let's go up. Let's leave Ione here. Ione possibly will be defeated. Or not. Okay. Risky. Okay, good. We didn't get hit. Okay, let's do a strong thrust on a bodyguard. Okay, maybe not. Can we do strong thrust on Duyere and not be attacked back? No, we can't. Okay, let's move back 1, and we'll do a long thrust on the bodyguard. Get rid of him. Well, not get rid of him, but weaken him. And we'll have Bastion finish him off. Okay. Let's use... If we leave bodyguard in front of us, that means Faulkner will never be able to do a one-shot attack. And this might work out in our favor. So... let's say Faulkner goes in this position right here, and then Duyere stays in this position. Or even Duyere moves here and Faulkner goes here. If we can get rid of Bodyguard 4 in one go, we can rush the heck away from here into the castle. So let's just weaken Bodyguard 4 a little bit more, to the point where we can one-shot him. Oh man, might not be able to. Oh dear, okay. So let's try that, let's try that out. Okay, Duyere move forward. Let's do a strong... no, let's do a normal thrust, and hopefully we can dot. Okay, we can't. Man. Let's use Tornado on Duyere. There we go. And we leveled up. Okay. So we're going to have to adjust the strategy a little bit. We want Bastion to move forward further, right? In a turn order, so that requires you to have higher agility. Agility directly dictates your evasion and your turn order. There we go. We need Faulkner to move. There we go. Perfect. Exactly where I wanted him to move. Let's try and avoid this. Hopefully it works. Okay, excellent. Okay, Bodyguard 2. That's Bastion. So, if we use kick right, actually if we use strong slash right here, we'll be able to get experience as well as hightail it to the castle. So let's reduce, yeah, let's do the minimal amount of FP gain. There we go. Okay, now it's time to run for our lives. Base Faulkner, let's not do anything other than that. And we will use Tornado on him, just so if he attacks us and we manage to hit him with Tornado, the attack is weakened. Okay, now we're going to use Long Thrust on Faulkner. There we go, Rain is gone, morale down, and Faulkner will not be able to do anything. He's going to skip his turn. The good thing is, Duyere did not intercept, did not go on the other side, which would have prevented me from running for my life. So, yeah. Clutch win. There we go, Faulkner not doing anything. Now let's retreat over here, and we're going to face towards Faulkner and Duyere. If we don't, they're going to hit her back, and we'll probably get hit. Oh man, it still gets from behind. Okay, avoid. Oh dear. No. Okay, we need to try and hope. Okay. Let's look at where Faulkner can move to. So, he can move right. He has a further movement range than I do, so he can attack from my back, which is not a good thing. So if we sit here, we would be attacked by him. He would go behind us again. But if we go here and we have him face our, and we have facing ourselves face towards the castle, he'll be here and he'll be able to attack our back, which would allow us to avoid, and he wouldn't be able to block our way here, which gives us a free reign to potentially get to the castle gates. So we're gonna have to risk it in this one maneuver. Let's see if it works. So we're not gonna face him. Oh, it's terrifying. Oh my god. We did it. This was like the ultimate runaway tactic. Oh jeez. Excellent. Very excellent. So putting that stats towards agility really helped me out. So all else fails, put everything to agility. And let's finish the mission. The castle has been seized. Zakov, you incompetent fool. You've humiliated both of us today. Forces of the kingdom have taken the castle. We must retreat for now, but we shall return to reclaim it. We should leave as well. Okay, folks, just give me like 1 minute and we'll continue with the cutscene. Alright, let's begin again. I see. Camorge is dead. Who was he, Galvis? And how did you know him? Camorge was a false name he gave himself when he left the kingdom and went into hiding. His real name was Alucard. Alucard! He was the leader of the Guardian Knights. He was responsible for the safety of the king himself. Yes, he was. And he was your younger brother. I know he died with honor, Galvis. I am certain that he did. The last time I saw him was shortly after the king perished, during the Empire's assault on the capital. I always believed that he fled from shame, that he left because he had dishonored the kingdom. I tried to shut him out of my mind, but I always hoped he would come back. I always missed him. Before Camorge died, he gave us a message for you. The Supreme Spirit sleeps at the feet of the lion. Guide the holy lineage to light. The meaning of those words is a mystery to all of us. I can scarcely believe it. Where's Alucard's? Where's the boy? Bastion? In a reception hall, I believe. Still in mourning for Camorge. Alucard. I'm certain you'll enlighten us sooner or later, but I prefer to know sooner if you don't mind. I was shocked when you mentioned that Alucard had a son, but now I understand their true relationship. And now I understand why Alucard fled the capital. It was not because of shame, but because of his duty. Alucard took it upon himself to raise and protect the next king. What? Blue blood of royalty flows through Bastion's veins, Ione. He is our fallen king's only heir. When the capital was assaulted and the king perished, Alucard must have stolen away with Bastion. But why did he stay away for so long instead of returning after the Empire had been repulsed? I can answer that one, Ione. Bastion is who they wanted in the first place, not the king. If Alucard had come back here with Bastion, they would have attacked us again. They needed him. Because he's the only one who can pilot the Ultra Gunner ATAC. It's a gift and a curse. So now they know. I wonder what Faulkner will think of this. It all makes sense now. I can't believe I didn't figure it out sooner. The Empire started this war to find Ultra Gunner, and to make Bastion use it against us. But when Alucard took Bastion, he distracted the Empire and gave us time to regroup. We need to power up the Ultra Gunner to reclaim what the Empire has taken. But Bastion could not have used or controlled that power when he was only a boy. Alucard knew that we all would have to wait for Bastion to mature into manhood. And now that Bastion is a man, all we need to do now is find the Ultra Gunner for him. According to Alucard's message, there may be a clue to its location in the kingdom of Dion-Lev. And it is most likely the course of wisdom to journey and have a chat with the Marquise. What of Bastion? How do you think he will react when he learns of his true lineage? And will I remember to call him Your Highness? I'm the prince of the kingdom? Which is why the innocent people of Fuo were viciously attacked by the Empire? which is why this horrible war came to pass? And which is why father died? I am the cause of it all? I am the cause of the death and destruction which has plagued the kingdom for these 16 years? I want to believe that this is a horrible nightmare from which I'm about to awaken, but I know it's true. I can feel the truth pushing down on my chest like a crushing weight. I wanted to save this world from the Empire's wrath. I wanted so much to make father proud. But all I did was instigate the death of the man who gave me everything, who taught me everything. I am a plague. I bring death with me wherever I go. I kill the ones I love. I'm not royalty. I'm just a curse. A horrible curse. Where are you going, Bastion? If I stay here, I will only bring the wrath of the Empire upon you all. I'm going to take my ATAC into the farthest mountain range and wait for the Imperial Army there. I will do my best to die with honor, as my father did. Honor? Tell me, Bastion, where's the honor in running like a coward? You are a fool, Bastion. Camar's laid down his life to save yours, and now you're just going to throw away his sacrifice? You said he taught you everything. Didn't he teach you to show respect for the dead? You act as if you're the only one who deserves to grieve. What about me? He was my father as much as yours. Leave if you must, Bastion. I have lost my family before. Perhaps I can survive losing another. Aaliyah, I'm so sorry. Please, Bastion. Don't forget about what has driven you for so long. The Empire. Defeating the Empire. That's right, Bastion. Not a day goes by where you don't talk about kicking the Empire's butt. So why are you gonna quit now? Fuck. You're right. I can't quit. The Empire won't stop until they rule the continent. We all know that. And since I'm the only one who can use the Ultra Gunner, I might be the only one who can stop them. But I'm afraid of what might happen to you all if I stay, or if I fail. We're your friends, Bastion. We're gonna stick with you no matter what happens. And if we work together, we can do anything. Camar's always taught us that, remember? He's right, Bastion. Fuck. Malia. So are you gonna stay and fight, or what? I know Barlow and me owe you a life debt and all. That doesn't mean you should waste our time. Besides, do you know how long it's been since Barlow ate? He's about to gnaw my foot off. He's not joking. I've tried it before. Leather's nutritious. I'm going to stay, Devlin, and I'm going to fight. Bastion, your face is even more handsome when you're wearing that determined look. I think I like it. What? Reyna. What? It's quite becoming. You have good friends, Bastion. Friends who will always help you no matter what you need. I wish I had realized that sooner, but at least I know it now. Together, we're going to defeat the Empire. We're going to do it for the sake of our world. We're going to do it for my father. Have you now come to understand, Your Highness? The citizens of the kingdom have prayed for your triumphant return. I've come to understand a great many things recently, Galvus. But I'm not going to wage this war against the Empire simply for the sake of the kingdom. I'm going to fight for the freedom of everyone on the continent, regardless of the nation in which they dwelt. No one in this land should have to live in fear, as I did. No one. Your Highness, you are the heir of the kingdom. The citizens would revolt if they heard you speak this way. You are born to inherit the throne. You must fight for the honor and the glory of the kingdom. Calm down, Galvus. Bastion is our leader, and that means he's the one who sets our agenda. Or do you wish to usurp the authority of his reign already? What? I would never commit an act of treason against a prince. Then perhaps you should give his leadership a chance. Right, Your Highness? Please don't call me Your Highness. It just sounds too weird. Bastion will be fine. Your Highness, you cannot be addressed with a common name. That would be weird. Well, Bastion, what is your command? We're waiting. Yes, Highness, what is your bidding? If you're entertaining suggestions, I think we should visit Marquis Dion to look for the Ultra Gunner. I wish I could join you, but that battle was murder on my ATAC, so I'll have to stay here. Really? You seem to pass the battle with nary a scratch, but I guess someone has to guard the castle. My thoughts exactly. Your Highness, is it your will that Gamlon remains here while the rest of us escort you to the Marquise? Remember that we are merely your advisors, nothing more. Please do not hesitate to disregard our advice. It sounds fine to me, Galvis, and don't hesitate to call me Bastion. I don't think I can bring myself to do that, Your Highness. I apologize. Ione, you probably don't want to hear this, but I believe you should hold the fort with Gamlon. Nothing against Gamlon, of course, but he won't be able to hold off the Empire if they return. I'd stay behind too if the new prince here didn't require someone to teach him about diplomacy. It's alright, Zera. If I held rank over you, I'd force you to stay here too. Sassy, aren't we? So, Zera, please tell me more of this Marquise Dion. Where to start? He's chief of a tribe of mercenaries who've been battling the Empire since forever. He's difficult to impress, I've heard. The only way to earn Dion's respect is to engage him in battle. We have to fight him to earn his respect? Has anyone bothered to try stimulating conversation? Dion's idea of stimulating conversation is a good, loud battle cry. The only way to get on Dion's good side is by fighting him and his mercs, and they fight to win. If you engage Dion and his crew, and you win, or just survive, you've made friends for life. Duke Zera, have you ever fought Marquise Dion? I knew you were beginning to wonder how I knew so much about him. Fact is, I did fight Dion once when I wasn't much older than you, and, of course, I was soundly defeated. Duke Zera, I never knew that. Why haven't you told that story before? Well, I'm not especially fond of retelling tales where I am the one pummeled to a pulp at the end. A good point. Not to boast, but I believe I could best the Marquis if we engaged on the battlefield again. Is anyone else getting strange signals on their short-range radars? I am, and those signals look very much like ATAC heat signatures. Prepare for battle! Alright, let's save here, and we now have a shop that we can actually purchase things from. We're going to do that in the next stream, so yeah, we're gonna purchase and set up for the next stream. Before we end here, we're going to take a look at our stats and see what we've actually accomplished so far. So, like I said, Bastion is sticking with Alba. We are going to try and maintain a sub-level, a level below 15 up until the end of Dion's test. Mainly so we don't get too high of a level and potentially risk going over level 20, which would basically make it so we can't recruit Malia. So let's take a look at Bastion's stats. He has 13 base, 10 power, 10 dex, agility 12, defense 7, and 8 weapon. He currently has Tornado, which when we buy the next Sealing Stone in the next stream, we're going to end up with Turbulence very quickly actually, because Turbulence requires 12 dex and 10 agility. So putting 2 more points to dexterity will give him Turbulence. Now as for support and dormant, we will learn those a bit later on. We're pretty much, yeah, we will be able to learn them later on. The ones we want to focus on getting though is Reflect and Parry. They're going to be useful in Dion's test, and yeah, they're just going to be useful. It'll help with our survivability, especially because we're not using a fire sealing stone. So yeah. As for Reyna, she has a strong thrust, and we're sticking to water sealing stone. And otherwise, there's nothing really to say about Reyna. Devlin, we need to get him Flare Bomb very soon, which he won't be able to learn just yet. I believe it needs a Jasper in order to learn. No, it needs a Ruby. So we're not going to be able to get it right away, not until we get to the next shop. But we'll be able to learn Melting Flare at the very least. And then he just needs to get his other dormant skills, which we will definitely get later on, which is Reflect Attack and Chivalry, which ideally those would be good for him. As for Barlow, we're going to stick with Water Sealing Stone and I guess trying to get Cooling Mist would be the best option for Barlow. I'm gonna stop talking a sec. There's like a siren going off near me. Okay, siren is just about gone. Now for Barlow, we just need to build up until we get Cooling Mist. That will allow us to basically, what it does is it reduces FP for every character within a 2 space range, which is actually really good because it reduces it by 33%, and trust me, that's actually a really good thing. You can start spamming more stronger moves as long as we surround Barlow. And then snow motion is pretty useless, so you don't even need to care about that. Zera is gonna be AI controlled until, let's see, until the end of chapter 10, mission 13, after Kaido's revolt. So we can't do anything about him right now. And then we have Galvus, who's going to leave after we do Norse Reclaimed, and that's, yeah, there's no point in really working on him. He will really just be someone who can weaken enemies or take hits. But otherwise, yeah, it's just not worth doing anything with him. What we're gonna do though is with Galvus, we're gonna take his Jasper and then give him Opal, and we'll give Devlin Jasper right there. And does he have any? No, and no, and no. So I'm looking at their accessories. So that's what everything looks like right now. That's their stats, and yeah. So next stream will be Thursday, April 16th at 9:15, and we'll progress normally all the way to Dion's Test. The path we're gonna follow is we're gonna go through Cave of Cretins, and then let's see. Oh, sorry, Norderlane Assault. Cave of Cretins is the Empire route. In Norderlane Assault, and then we're gonna go and head into Radcot's Trap, but we're going to work towards surviving it. And the reason why we're going to do that is because we want to end up defeating Radcot, who gives a massive amount of experience. Because if we don't fall into Radcot's Trap, we face just Muspel soldiers, and the amount of experience they give isn't really anything to write home about. It'll help us level up more for Dion's Test. That's the whole reason why I'm going to go into that. So, Bandit, no, Norderlane Assault, Radcot's Trap, and then Dion's Test. After that, we'll be able to, we're going to end up doing Radcot's Attack, which will allow us to fight Radcot another time. The only issue with this, with the final mission for the next stream, is that Dion's going to be in our party, Andrew's going to be in our party, and Zera's going to be in our party. That is 3 AI characters who are going to be in our party, and they can really steal the experience. Not that it's a huge bad thing, it'll keep us below level 20, but it's a bad thing for the other characters who are going to require more experience to survive future battles. So we're gonna have to try and work towards make sure they get the kills. But otherwise, this is it for the stream. I really hope you're I really appreciate it. I hope you really appreciate it. It's the other way around. So I hope you enjoyed yourselves here, and I appreciate you sticking around and watching the whole time. And Thursday, April 16th, 9:15 will be the next stream. We'll do the next 4 missions, and we'll shop before we begin the stream. And otherwise, that's it.